Hey everyone, welcome back to another Crypto Unplugged YouTube video. It's Stock here, and if this is your first time on the channel, you're in for a good one. Oz and I have been in the crypto space for years, breaking down the chaos, uncovering altcoin gems, and giving you the realest insights into actually what's happening in the market. Today we're talking about one of the most explosive meme coins that we've come across recently, a project with a fanatical community, massive momentum, and the potential to shake up the meme coin scene. That project, Apu. And if you haven't been paying attention, now's the time, and stick around because Oz will be giving you key levels of where Apple could go in this cycle. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, and click the notification bell so you never miss out on these high value crypto insights. So why Apu? Why Apu, Oz?
Yeah, it seemed like a funny meme coin with a fanatical community, I would say. And obviously, it's had a massive drawdown recently. So, can this meme coin actually recover? So, it'd be interesting to see, especially in the charts, what's been happening when it comes to distribution and accumulation levels. I think the viewers will really like to know, is this coin dead? Or are we actually going to see a massive pump for Apple?
Okay, now Oz, before we go into the technical analysis of this, okay, now Apu, it's like whole space is just crazy with meme coins. You got pump and dump coins, but the real ones that are moving are the ones that have got a cult community. So there's a lot of FOMO pumps that, just come out, collapse and fall. Yesterday, we saw one of the coins that just came out. A lot of people lost millions in one of this that was launched in Argentina, or an Argentinian meme coin, and influencers, seem to shit a lot of garbage on and dump on their followers. But every cycle, there's one or two meme coins that go from being a joke to a serious player. And those winners always have one thing in common, and that's an absolutely relentless, die-hard community. So if you look at what the hype that goes around it, a community loyal is what makes a meme coin unstoppable. And Apu is one of the most engaging and obsessive communities that I've seen, in a long time. If I just type in Apu in Twitter, then you're going to get a lot of memes, responses from the community. So the cult community is a crazy thing that's going with the Apu community. And, it's a community-driven one. And major meme coin successes, like we've seen Doge and Shib, Pepe, Bonk, they was all fueled by cult-like following, and Apu seems to be following that same blueprint. But what we're going to be covering, Oz, and what you're going to be looking at is the actual technical analysis and what profits that we could see as a community who are following Apu, or investors in Apu, anybody who wants to look into buying Apu, what they could expect in this cycle. So let's break it down for the viewers, Oz.
Yeah, so obviously, for me personally, obviously the community is very important with Apu, but let's just actually see what's going on in terms of the charts, because if there's no demand in the charts, there's not worth really investing in any kind of coin. So if we just break it down, this is the long-term 3-month chart, right? And this is a TPO chart which shows the levels, I would say, where accumulation and distribution is happening. So if we take it back into July 2024, what you can see in this volume profile, okay, so this is a 3-month volume profile. So what was happening since July up until September. So it's the quarterly chart, and what you can see, what I noticed straight away on this chart before the actual massive pump that happened, was there was a lot of accumulation happening at the POC, which is basically in this kind of chart is where price spent the most amount of time in those last 3 months. So in the month of July, August and September, you can see that price was down here around 2627, so 0002627, and you had a lot of, even below the POC, you had a lot of accumulation happening, and the volume profile was thinning as you go higher. So this for me was obviously in hindsight, it was a great place to accumulate. And then what we had was a massive run up, but what you can notice in the subsequent 3 months, October, November, December, you had the volume profile from 3380 all the way up to the all-time high of 0.14892, but the volume profile was towards the top again, meaning this 3-month period here was probably more distribution than accumulation, because if you wanted accumulation at this down here, you probably would have wanted the point of control to be slightly lower in this whole volume profile. and then we got the big sell-off. I think it was, I don't know, 70 or 80%. So now what are we seeing right now? Is this another distribution phase? Are we going to go much lower, or are we going to start challenging the highs again? So initially, obviously, this 3-month period hasn't completed. So it's from January to March. We're in what I would say is mid-Feb. And what I can notice straight away is that there's not much volume at the top of this volume profile. The POC has shifted to the bottom of it. That could indicate accumulation is happening, especially around the 2474 level. We're slightly below that level, but all of this level below, you can see that the time is spending a price is spending a lot of time in these areas. And if this continues, and by the end of this month, or even in the next few weeks, we start going above the POC, which is the top of it is 2553, then you could say this is definitely accumulation happening. And again, what we had similar to this push up, back in September, you're gonna have another push up, coming to the end of this quarter, maybe in March, you're gonna start pushing up really high, and probably into April, and then maybe get another distribution later on. So these 3-month charts are really good to actually see what's happening on the overall picture, rather than looking at the hourly charts and trying to make a decision on long-term investing there. So what I would say at the moment, what I'm seeing is that there is accumulation happening at these lower levels, and it could be a good time to start maybe accumulating if you're bullish on APU. Then let's go into the monthly chart, because the monthly chart again will show us some key levels if you're thinking about maybe making an entry into this coin. So what I have with APU at the moment on the monthly chart, price, again, the POC, I would say this is like a neutral POC. It's not bullish or bearish in my opinion, because you might, it's in the middle of the profile. So, if it was more accumulation, I would like price to spend more time around, maybe 2113 up to, 286, 02301. You can see the prices on the right hand side. So maybe in this area, if price spends a bit more time, the POC shifts down a bit, we can start getting some accumulation here. You have an open level back at 1720, so and a poor low here at 1867. So that's something to look at, because it could get taken out again before we start moving up. But these are some key levels if you're looking to get in. For Apple, you have you do have a key level here, the monthly at 1720. So you gotta be wary of that also. A couple of poor lows, which I won't go into detail about what they mean, but it's just something to be wary about. Going into the weekly chart, and again, the weekly chart, again, for me this week, you're at resistance here at 2465. So the weekly is a bit more, I would say the weekly is a bit more bearish personally at this stage. You got some poor lows, at the weekly at 1882, again at 1732, and then 1583. So you got some poor lows there that you could potentially take out before you start moving up. For accumulation, you can see in the last few weeks as well, where the POC is at the top, meaning more distributions happening. Accumulation, you would want the POC towards the bottom, so you push up. But this is a weekly chart, so it's not as detailed as on the 3-month chart. I see accumulation, but the 3-month chart obviously has those levels that I mentioned on the weekly in the first place. So the weekly chart is a bit more bearish at the moment. A lot of distribution happening. So what you really want is the POC to shift towards the bottom, and that might happen in the next couple of weeks, looking at the 3-month chart. So I wouldn't be, even though maybe weekly I'm a bit bearish on this, and until we start seeing a shift in momentum. Long term, I would say looking at the 3-month chart, it's just looking like accumulation at this bottom range. So I wouldn't worry too much on that. And what you can see is I've done a key level charts for all the APU fans and the community to get better understanding. I would say this level here, and we've seen that in the other charts I've just shown you, that the 1730 monthly level, which is kind of open, that could get tested before you start making the eventual run up. I would say, unless this level is completely lost, when you lose a monthly level, just so you know, when you lose a monthly level, it's quite significant. Losing the monthly level back in November triggered a massive downside basically, and then you're losing the monthly level again that was created in December. Again, you had massive amount of drawdown. So losing this monthly level, you can see that was almost a 50% drop, or more than a 50% drop. Losing the next monthly level, obviously, it's another 60% drop. So these monthly levels, I would say, are very important. But where the coin's going to go. So my opinion is, you cannot lose this monthly level, or then I would personally classify this as over, and it would be no coming back from this token. But looking at the accumulation in the 3-month chart, like I've been saying before, a lot of accumulation. I don't think this is distribution. I think this is accumulation, and it does go all the way down to the the monthly level. Around 17. We got a monthly level at 17. 20 or 17.30. This chart has it more a bit clearer. 17.24. So what I would expect, or what I would hope for, is that Apple maybe hits this level and then starts reversing from there, and then I think we can start gaining some of these levels back and hitting all-time highs. So for Apple, we're in. It looks bad because it's been such a drawdown, but looking at the longer-term charts, I just see that we have been accumulating in these last 3 months. That this is what this sort of chart is telling me, the longer term chart. And I would say, if you are looking to get add to your position, I would maybe wait for the 17.24 level. Could be a good level to start accumulating the dips. And then you have a clear invalidation here as well. Like, for example, if price just continues breaking down and ultimately breaks this low here, then until this level is regained, you wouldn't get back into the coin. So for me, this level is crucial for the bullish argument for Apple. So I know charts look bad when they're so down. So this from the top, if we take it from the top to where it is now, it's about 80%. I would say. Is it around 80? Yes, it's around 87% down. So that's a massive drawdown. But if you're looking to get into it, I would potentially wait for this level and some sign of strength. So hitting this level will be, and bouncing would be bullish, but then ultimately getting above the weekly and then this monthly again, and then taking it from there. So it might look bad for Apple at the moment, but there is still some hope for it. I am seeing accumulation on the charts, but also you have to know your invalidation levels as well. So if this level is lost on a weekly basis, I would say if a couple of weeks closes below this level, and then you end up losing, and you end up losing this low as well, and this becomes resistance, then you could be looking at another 50% drop, because each of these monthly levels that were lost was about a 50% drop. So that's the warning sign for Apple. But we have to be realistic, and we have to invest with our eyes open. So if this level is held, then we can start looking at higher prices to come in the next few months. So that's my take on Apple, and hopefully it'll help you guys in the future of this bull market.
Okay, so if it does reverse from the levels that you mentioned, particularly on a 3-month time frame, there's a reversal. Oz, what can we expect from the community? Because a lot of people have been holding Apple. There's a lot of diamond wallet holders who have been holding Apple. Like you mentioned, accumulation phase there. If it goes, doesn't invalidate a potential a level to accumulate, where could we see a reversal, and where could we potentially see Apple, going over the next coming months?
So if I go back to this monthly chart here, so if this low, this target at what I said, 17.20 roughly, if this gets taken out and held as support, and we and Apple basically reverses and goes back up, then I would say this liquidity target around 8500 could be a potential target. But the first target you would want is to get over the monthly level. So this month is actually currently in progress, so we don't know where this is going to end. But the target you have is around 4704, and then higher targets are 8499, and eventually you have the 1017. And if that gets taken out, then you're into basically all-time highs and new targets being set. I don't want to give the ultimate targets, like where could it go, until you actually start seeing a reversal in this chart. and the reversal for me will probably come. This target it's in reach now, which is 1725. It may get there, it may not, but that is something to look at. And for me, the first target would be that 4704, and then there's a poor liquidity high here, which could get taken out as well at 8446. And then ultimately, if you get above 10, let me just go back to this chart. If you get above 1051, then you're looking at new all-time high. So just take it step by step. But this could do very well in the near future. But first of all, you have to see some signs of momentum being built. And for me, that would be, possibly taking out this low and then reversing to the upside. But once we start getting above levels, then you can start being confident that this is going to go to new all-time highs.
Okay, viewers, look, we're not here to tell you what to buy. We've been around long enough to recognize when something's picking up real steam. Apu, from the meme coin narrative, is not just a random meme coin, it is a movement. Now, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below. Are you bullish on Apu? Do you think it has what it takes to go mainstream, or is it just a meme coin that you're watching? Let's talk about it. Keep your comments. Again, like this video, subscribe if you haven't, and if you're not a member yet, join us at marketsunplug.com. You'll find a link below, and that's where we go way deep into market trends, trading strategies, and altcoin analysis. And that's it for today. Thanks everyone for watching. Make sure you do subscribe, hit the like button, and we'll catch you in the next video.